All right, so the last question is just asking me to kind of reflect upon the improvement plan for Lake and how I can see myself working together to help put this improvement plan in place. For me, the first thing, coaching, is extremely important as a teacher. I'm relatively new to teaching, and I've experienced a couple of different roles myself as a teacher and have had to learn new things with each of those roles, especially every year you get a new set of students and you're going to have to learn again how to work with those particular students as well. Things are constantly changing in our society, and teachers also need to pay attention to that and change as well. So any kind of constructive feedback that I can get is very welcomed, and I love having that. Utilizing data collection and in order to drive instruction is something that all special education teachers do. We're constantly collecting data on our students, on their goals for their IEPs, progress monitoring if they're meeting their goals, what we need to do in order to help them meet those goals. And that's something that we do naturally as special education teachers. A couple years ago, I put in place a method in order for students to collect their own data on how they're doing towards their goals, and that's something that I really like to use to get students more involved in the IEP process and know where their gaps are and what improvements they need to make. This allows students to be more involved in that process and really understand their goals, because I find that a lot of students have their IEP goals made for them and they don't know what their goals are or what the particular things that they need to work on are. And then also regularly communicating with family. I do this in a couple of ways. Over phone, I try and make as many positive phone calls as I can home, and the occasional improvement phone calls have to come in there as well, but making those positive phone calls really helps so that you can build the relationship with the family. I use Google Voice to text through to parents, because texting sometimes is the best way to get a hold of parents these days, as well as I have developed a behavior sheet for some of my students that need help with emotional regulation and really keeping themselves in check. And this is a weekly or a daily way for parents to see how their students are doing. I send students home with this either at the end of the day or at the end of the week. Parents sign it and students bring it back to school. This allows parents to see how their student is doing. Teachers write notes on the back, positive or areas of improvement for their child, and really helps us see also places either during the day or during different subjects that students are particularly having a hard time with. Overall, just some things that I'd like to bring to the table will also be inclusion. I'm not sure how students in your center-based programs are included, but that's something that I really like to do, is including them in the general education environment as much as I can. So please let me know if you have any further questions. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for the opportunity to allow me to have this interview process with you and Link. Thank you.